Hi everybody, welcome to part 2. I left off here on page 2 because this is a 2-page article and it had other information that I'd like to share with you in regards to why the epidemic of packing on pounds happened to our nation and what we can do about it. This kind of makes us aware to what we can do about it. Okay, the photograph you see here is the lean. They look like they're timber people, timbermen. I don't know what they are really, but it looks like they're carrying actually farm tools. So they're probably doing some farming, clearing the land out. And you see, you know how, they stayed in shape. I was trying to remember where I had left off from the last time. Oh, it was in regards to the list of what created this perfect storm about our lifestyles had changed like it had since the early 1900s all the way up to today, beginning in the 1980s where it all began. And that most West Virginians now work lower activity jobs, mostly sitting behind a desk, behind a computer, and they're usually time they finish an 8-hour or more job, they're probably just too home to go home and take care of their families, don't get in the extra physical exercise that they need. And in many families, both the parents work. In 2009, more than 60% of the West Virginia high school students got no physical education, and many schools have canceled their recess. It's important to have recess, And in 1969, 48% of the American children 5 to 14 walked or biked to school. And by 2009, it was down to 13%. Boy, that's a drastic drop. And I wouldn't mind doing that myself. I don't go to school anymore, but I wouldn't mind doing that again. Computers, TV, and other screen activities keep kids inactive, and that is really very alarmingly common today. I think we all need to learn to, it's my thoughts, we need to interact more with our families, do other activities with, going outside. When I was growing up as a kid, we used to go outside to play. I mean, we didn't even think about TV then. And it kept my weight down to some extent, because I was always kind of like a chubby little kid, and but I don't know. I would say not as much. Of course, I'm an older adult, and things change. Your metabolism changes as you get older. But other than that, as the Americans grew heavier, West Virginians grew heavier faster. Sometimes between 1980 and 1992, West Virginia crossed above the national average. Why? Appalachian researchers and historians say that West Virginia faced particular challenges that accelerate the national trend. And what are they? Chronic poverty. In counties where there's more 35% of people who are obese, the poverty rate ranges from 20 to 40%, compared with 18% statewide. At the educational level, in the heaviest counties, 6 to 12% of the people attended college, compared with the 17% statewide. Environmental risk in water and air. West Virginia University researchers have documented an association between lung cancer, heart disease, and birth defects in the proximity to coal mining operations. Isolation. The heaviest counties tend not to be near interstate highways. As West Virginians' weight rose, more West Virginians developed chronic diseases associated with obesity until the state led the nation in diabetes, heart attack, hypertension, and kidney failure. In 2011, the Federal Centers of Disease Control released a map of counties with the highest diabetes rates. A deadly swath cuts down through the Appalachians to the Gulf Coast, almost exactly overlapping the obesity belt. Almost every West Virginia county is firmly inside both belts. That's pretty sad. Okay, now we're getting back to early history. In the early 1900s, historian Lewis said that West Virginians died mostly of contagious diseases such as tuberculosis, pneumonia, and influenza. Today's killers are diabetes, heart disease, and hypertension were low on the radar screen. And contagious disease killed people before chronic diseases ever did. As West Virginia has gotten a grip on contagious diseases, chronic disease rates have risen. The way we think about eating culturally makes a difference too, Lewis said. Through the first half of the 1900s, West Virginians associated fat and eating with prosperity and health. When people thought of a fat person, they thought of a rich person. During the Depression, eating was even more strongly associated with good health. Okay, so that's a different thought towards being fat, I guess. Food also had powerful social meaning in culture. West Virginia rural history is filled with church socials and community dinners. People show love and hospitality with food. It's often a gift of sorts, and it's up to you to show your appreciation by eating a lot of it. That worked okay as long as people stayed physically active. Through the 50s into the 70s, they still have an active culture, and children still played outside all day, and most rural people raised gardens. But the culture itself had changed. By 1980s, few West Virginians raised gardens and more people had desk jobs, but people still kept the traditional association between eating heartily and healthy. By 2008, the average West Virginian was 20 pounds heavier than he or she was in 1998. And the diabetes statistics began to climb. Something went out of balance. The way that the West Virginians ate is in the same way a product of our history and culture mixed with modern advertising. And well, that's another subject. That's another big subject on the advertising, like the food marketing I mentioned earlier. That it does not suit us as well as we move into a modern life where we drive a four-wheeler instead of walking uphill, or use a chainsaw instead of a crosscut saw. where one person got on one end and then the other, and then they, uh, cut down the tree. But we've got to find ways to talk about that as a state. And that's it, really. Yep, that's the end of the article. Um, there's just a few things I just wanted to add. Now, some countries, like Japan, for example, uh, they live long lives because of the foods that they eat and their lifestyle. Um, I'm sure people there, they bike a lot to work, so that helps too. Or wherever they go, I think the most of them bike. Um, I'm sure they have automobiles there, but what's videos that I saw on Japan, a lot of them like to bike, which is good. But their diet is mainly rice, I think. Um, I have to find that video. Hold on just a second, and I'll add that on here. Hold on. Okay, I found that video. It's Japan versus the USA diet, why Japanese men and women live so long. And they have the lowest obesity rate in the world. Yeah. So it's this is a very educative, educating video, which you should check out. And we could get some good tips out of how the Japanese, how they eat and how they live. And I think that's it. I think that's all I needed to say. Okay, one more thing too I wanted to mention, and I had mentioned this before, that a lot of people try to, when they are active, tend to turn to energy drinks and sports drinks for the energy that they need to replenish their electrolytes and the fluids that they need to retain. Well, those aren't good. The sports drinks and the energy drinks, because they're high in caffeine and loaded with the sugars that aren't good for us anyway. So I found out on my own what's the best and natural energy. Well, I won't say energy, but the best drink that will rehydrate you, rehydrate your body, and make you feel a whole lot better instead of feeling feel like you have to crash after drinking those sports drinks, energy drinks. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, it's coconut water. Yeah, believe it or not. And coconut's very good for you when it comes to extra virgin coconut oil or the coconut itself. It's really a good food. And the coconut water that comes from the coconut is known to rehydrate and your body better and boost your energy and lead you back to recovery after hydration loss. So I'll leave the link to this article so you can read more about coconut water, because it's very good. And this is also one of my other favorite beverages too, is coconut water. And you didn't think that of me, right? Yep, because it's very good for you. Okay, I'm really close to the end, and that's it for now. And you all have a great week, and God bless you guys. Jesus loves you. If you don't know Him today, please get to know Him, and because time is short and we're not guaranteed another tomorrow. Till next time, take care, you guys. Bye bye now.